second session starting from 3:30 p.m., which is around 1530 hours IST for Germany and UK. We will have eminent speakers coming from these countries and discussing with the student and the faculty. And we have third session, scheduled at 2000 hours IST 8 p.m., which is for Canada, wherein Canadian institution will be speaking about the way forward as far as skilling ecosystem is concerned. So fantastic. I'm very happy. We all are very excited with this kind of a roundtable, which is going to set the pace for skilling ecosystem. We have been discussing about it, that young India has a young workforce. India has an advantage of demographic dividend, but this is the time to reap that demographic dividend. This is the time we work together, evolve some model that this manpower, this workforce which we have should not be seen as brain drain. I would call it as brain exchange, where we all invest into it. These foreign countries should also come forward, set up infrastructure in the country, and let us work together to create a supply chain which is to meet our country requirement as well as to meet the requirement of the foreign country. Because particularly in the health sector is very, very important, because if nation is healthy, if our global other countries are healthy, we can live long, we can really work in the direction for the upliftment of the society. We have seen pandemic 2019, one country affected, it can affect the whole world. So health is one very, very important aspect where we should all work together and create such an ecosystem that we can become a supply chain, and we have that advantage with us. And I'm very thankful to our honorable chief guest who evolved this idea of bringing students into it, bringing faculty into it, and bringing the principals into it, because I've seen roundtables where it is the senior officials discussing in a closed door, and we evolve the kind of policies around it. But this is first time, it is an open discussion, and it will be an interactive session. We are not keeping it as Honorable Dr. Chaudhary, who will be moderating the session. He was of the view, let us make it interesting. Let us, all speakers should share their views. Let us, the participants are able to contribute, they share their thoughts so that we may get some desired outcome of this, out of this roundtable. So with these words, I'm very thankful to all the participants for being with us today. Welcome you all. I might have missed any particular name, so I would be sorry for that. But again, wishing you an International Women's Day, and let's hope for the best outcome out of this great roundtable, which is being organized by LAMRIN Tech Skill University, which is the first skill university in Punjab, and Indian School of Business under the aegis of Government of Punjab. So with these words, thank you very much. Thanks from my side.
Thank you very much, sir. I now invite Dr. Chandan Chaudhary, Senior Associate Dean and Practice Professor, Operations Management and Information Systems, Indian School of Business.
Speak your words. Dr. Saab, over to you. Professor Chandan Chaudhary, over to you.
Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yeah, we can hear you, Professor Chandan Chaudhary.
Yeah, I just want to be sure that you are able to see my slide. Can you see my slide?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see you. We can see your slides, sir.
You can see my slide. Yeah. Okay. So the point that first of all, I would like to remember all the women of the world today, and it is an International Women's Day. I think it's a very special day. One of the reasons we conducted this roundtable on 8th of March, we thought, as far as global economic growth is concerned, and the flow of skilled professionals across the world, right? From country of destination to from country of origin to country of destination, it is extremely important that women plays an equally important role. Now, I wanted to request, there are some people who are actually scribbling on the screen. They should not do, right? Those who are connected. I wanted to say a few thumb rules. First of all, nobody will write on the screen. I can just now see that somebody is writing on the screen. So I want to request the AV section, whoever is writing, can you please switch him off or her, such that our session is not disturbed. I can see somebody. Can you hear me? Sandeep, can you hear me? Sandeep, can you hear me? Colonel Rajiv, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Colonel Rajiv?
Yes, sir. You are
Sandeep?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me, Dr. Sandeep?
Audible, sir.
Yeah, okay. So I want to request everybody that we should not write on the screen, right? I have been seeing some of the participants have been writing on the screen. We have, given option to everybody to, but people would speak only when we call out the name. So else we will not be able to complete our objective, which is getting views of the people. Now, our entire focus is about healthcare workforce. Our entire focus is not a specific country. Our focus is how do we ensure that our planet is healthy? How do we ensure that every citizen of the planet, irrespective of, do they live in a poor country or a rich country? Do they live in a developed nation or in a developing country? That everybody is healthy. Because during pandemic, as Dr. Sandeep said, we have actually seen that even if one person in the society is not healthy, that is a potential risk for everybody else. We do not know the future pandemic, right? We might have something where you will have drug resistance, lethal bacteria. So we need to really work as a single team to really create a global supply chain of workforce in the healthcare sector, which will ensure that our world is healthy. Now, I also want to tell you that there is a perception that migration means brain drain. Me and Dr. Sandeep, we have been doing a lot of research on this topic. We believe that those who believe that brain drain is better than brain being in the drain, believe it is not about brain drain. It's about brain exchange in the interest of country of origin and country of destination. So it's in the interest of both country of origin and country of destination. I want to share a couple of data. First of all, as far as healthcare sector is concerned, I think the workforce in the healthcare sector is truly global citizen, right? There is a report which was published in 2020 by WHO. The study shows that if you look at the healthcare workforce in the world, 1 out of every 8, that means 12.5% of the world's healthcare workforce, they might have been trained in a country other than one in which they currently practice. So healthcare workforce compared to other areas is truly global citizen. So this is something which is very, very interesting. If you look at Canada, UK, United States, they all have come out with a different approach to approval of migration for healthcare workforce. I want to share with you that what Dr. Sandeep has mentioned.
Share the screen.
Sorry.
Now share the screen again.
Yeah, can you do it? What I wanted to share that today, all the three technical sessions that you are going to have after this inaugural session, one thing is going to be common. That is, in each of the round table, we are going to have employers, potential employers. We are going to have training agencies. We are going to have certification bodies. So that's going to be the common thing in all the sessions. So that's one. Again, I can see, can you just ask? So I'm again requesting people who are scribbling on the screen, please do not do that, right? I can see people are scribbling on the screen. Please stop doing that, right? I'm requesting the AV section to disable, right? Can you disable that, right? So that is one thing which is common, that we'll have potential employers, training agencies, certification bodies, right? And we are going to have three different technical session. Now, moving on, I wanted to share with you that we have maybe we'll take a break for 2 minutes, because I find that we have given freedom to everybody, so that's not working out. We have people who are not able to act appropriately. So we would take a break for 2 minutes, and then we'll take a break for 5 minutes and get started, because we can see there are people who are not up to the mark and actually scribbling on the screen. Can you come? Can you come? Okay, just stop sharing. Stop sharing.
It's already stopped. Not stopped.
No, I'm just saying.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
So I wanted to just share with you that uh, I want to give you just one specific example before we open up the floor for discussion. That specific example is the example of recently some of the Canadian colleges which got closed. We made an attempt to collect data, which is primary data, to really figure out what is the magnitude of the problem. So there were 3 colleges which closed down in Canada, and we made an attempt to understand these Indian students who went to study to Canada, what courses they have been doing. So we collected data from 177 impacted students. Our study showed majority of them had gone for doing diploma. You had followed by post-graduation diploma. The third was undergrad course. Fourth was postgrad. Now, these students who went there, when we did a detailed study of the gender profile, we found that both male and female, right? So if you look at male is 45.78% and female is 54.22%. So that this is the gender profile of the students. And we are talking about a very recent incidents. Whatever I'm sharing with you is just about 8 days old, these findings that I'm reporting just now. So meaning, as far as students are concerned, you are talking about both the genders, male and female. Second thing I wanted to share with you that we made an attempt to understand this 177 students sample data that we collected. Where are they? Now, because of pandemic, many colleges started doing online classes. So you have students who have been asked to pay the fees. They paid the fees. They've been asked to get started with online classes. They got started with online classes. We found majority of these students were still in India doing the classes online, remotely, paid the fees, followed by there were also students who were physically in Canada doing the courses. Now, I want to just take another 2 minutes to narrate this particular insights from our study. We want to understand who all are these students. We found majority of them got great potential. They have the great potential to contribute to the healthcare industry's success globally. They all are passionate about working in the healthcare sector. Now, many of them, some of them, want to take up job in other sector. Now, when we made an attempt to understand what has been the sources of funds, we found majority of the student, right, burned the savings, lifelong savings of their parents, followed by the other sources of fund was that funds are arranged by parents through money lenders with very high interest rates. Third category was funds arranged by selling, mortgaging the land. So whatever small little land they had, they mortgaged the land, and a few of them took educational loan. And then these colleges became bankrupt. They have been informed they cannot continue. We interacted with the Canadian government, which was very, very helpful. And they are trying to see how to help these students. So migration for study and migration for job both needs global attention. And it is in the interest of country of destination and the country of origin that they collaborate. And that we look at this entire topic as far as healthcare sector is concerned, as an area where we are talking about brain exchange, we are talking about thinking about the global health of every citizen, whichever country they may be. So this was a kind of context. So Dr. Sandeep, I just thought I will open this forum for discussion. I do not know if Mr. Marcus Ost is right now on the call. If Marcus is on the call, then I wanted to request if Marcus could unmute and share a few words. Over to Marcus.
Yeah, thank you very much for the handover, Mr. Chowdhury. Do I speak it rightly? Good morning from here, from not directly from Germany, but I am at the moment in Delhi, together with my colleague Kartik. So he will just give us a short information about the background from iMove, and then later on I will explain, give a bit of some words about the health system in Germany. But first of all, I would like to give my greetings to all the women in the world, to the Women's Day today, especially to the women and children. They are on the run worldwide because of the challenges in the world. So that's my special greetings on that. And I'm very grateful to be here, and I'm very thankful to have the chance to support this issue and the workforce for overseas. And I would like to hand over now to my colleague Kartik to introduce the iMove, which I would like to present because I'm talking on behalf of iMove. Thank you.
Very good morning and happy International Women.
Can you speak louder? Can you speak louder?
Very good morning.
No, you are muted. Can you unmute, please?
Am I audible?
Yeah, now we can hear you. Yes.
Yeah. First of all, happy International Women's Day and our heartfelt gratitude to all.
Or your voice is not audible. Your voice is not audible. So maybe we'll get back to you. You may ask your technical people. Maybe I would get back to you again.
Okay.
Can you just speak? Are you able to hear? Arunachalam, can you speak? Yeah.
Yes, I can.
Now you're audible. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Thank you for the opportunity for us to here today. And I am representing iMove. iMove is an initiative by the German Federal Ministry for Education and Scientific Research. We are here to impart the German dual system.
So we are not able to hear Arunachalam. I think Arunachalam, you can check
Yeah,
your
maybe
voice.
we'll get back
Yeah.
later. You are not audible.
Yeah.
Let's Dr.
We
Sandeep,
are not
I just thought if Anurag Bhushan is there, is Anurag Bhushan there? Mr. Anurag Bhushan?
Yeah, he's there. Actually, he was trying to log in.
Okay.
He was not able
Then-
to see, but he'll be
Okay,
joining.
how about Himangi? Is Himangi Bharadwaj there, Dr. Himangi?
Yes,
Is
I'm
Dr.
here. I'm here,
Yeah, Dr.
Professor Chaudhary.
Yeah. Can you please, share your thoughts?
Thank you so much, Professor Chaudhary. And first of all, starting by just thanking the organizers for inviting the British High Commission, and a quick apology from the High Commissioner. He could not join us. He's in the UK currently. He's traveling. So first of all, I think the premise which is set out as the context is really relevant in today's time. I think, as was mentioned in the beginning, the pandemic has shown very clearly that any part of the world cannot be healthy without another part of the world being healthy. So, we are now all talking about global health rather than health of nations individually. And as you're aware, for the UK, the NHS's strength is its diversity. And the doctors and nurses who work in the NHS, a large part of them actually come from India. So they are of Indian origin, they have moved to the UK for various reasons. And what our effort is to make this process as streamlined as possible. I think brain exchange was mentioned today, which I think is a fantastic term. One of the things we've focused on recently is something called brain gain, rather than a drain on resources on any part of the world. And 3 or 4 things that I wanted to mention very quickly. One is that, as you know, the WHO has put in place a framework for ethical recruitment, and the UK is strongly behind this. I mean, we would not want to recruit from any part of the world where, the health system will actually get depleted if we recruit. So I think ethical recruitment is a large part of this. But also, secondly, thinking about creating mechanisms so that the people who do have the talent and the skills to work, not just for their own country, but in other parts of the world, have the mechanisms that they do not leave the sector. That is a very, very important priority for the UK. You see today qualified doctors, nurses, and allied health professionals working in other parts of the economy. This is something that the UK would want to try and work against if we can. I mean, this is gold dust, as we've seen in the pandemic. Health workers are the backbone of any health system. So for the UK, encouraging and creating mechanisms that are ethical, that are easy for people to move seamlessly between countries, that discourage any kind of, slavery or any kind of abuse. We all know middlemen, we all know touts, we all know the systems that cause people to go from here, whether it's nurses, whether it's allied health professionals. We've seen them stuck, in another country, whether it's in the UK, working menial jobs. This is not something that the UK would like to encourage. And so our Department of Health and Social Care has reached out to various state governments at the state government level to try and create direct mechanisms where government here can identify institutes, and we can at the UK end identify the recruiters, so that this is an entire government to government system. People do not have to go through any middlemen. The second thing we are trying to do, as I think this was mentioned right in the beginning, UK and India are currently working on a foreign trade agreement, as you know. It's one of the most ambitious FTAs UK has ever agreed. And one of the major components of this is health workforce. And what we're trying to do with the Ministry of Skill Development is to actually identify and define the careers that we want should be able to move seamlessly. And I think the sort of key to this is ensuring that our career pathway definition is sort of equivalent across the two countries. So I'm really keen to hear both from other panel members, but also from the students and the faculty here today on where they think the challenges lie when they want to work in the UK. What is it that the UK can do better? Where is it that they're still facing challenges? We know visa and the English language requirements are something.
Himangi, maybe I'll get back to you again, right? I mean, I think some very good insights. I was just thinking, if Mr. Bruce Poe is there, who is CEO ITES from Singapore, is Mr. Bruce there?
Yes, I'm here. I hope you can hear me clearly.
Oh, absolutely clearly. It's just like you're sitting next to me. Yes.
Oh, great.
Finally, I think
good
we're getting
morning
it
to
right.
everybody, and a warmest greeting from Singapore. I think I'd like to comment that the COVID-19 has focused the world on healthcare issues. In particular, healthcare professionals, talking about doctors, nurses, allied healthcare workers, what have you. So even before the pandemic, you can see that every country find shortages, particularly nurses, in our own country. And there's a big demand for actually healthcare workers in every country. And with the COVID-19, I think it has shown that many countries have found that maybe they are under-providing in terms of healthcare budgets into their healthcare, provisions for their own citizens. Going forward, I would imagine countries will place more budgets to healthcare in their own country, and also to increase the number of healthcare professionals. And there's a great need, even right now, the pandemic still ongoing, and healthcare workers are overworked in many countries, in fact, all countries, some even more than others. There's a pressure to increase the number of healthcare workers. But as you know, it will not happen overnight. So there's a dire need for institutions working with healthcare institutions and hospitals to churn out more healthcare workers for the needs of all nations. So I can imagine this is a very timely forum that and roundtable discussion to talk about training in terms of healthcare professionals. And I congratulate the organizers for bringing up this subject at a very timely manner.
Thank you very much. I think you have articulated it extremely well, the real problem and the need for a global collaboration. Now, I wanted to request that it will be very useful. We have many professors, we have academicians, doctors, students. While we may not have time to listen to everybody, but if you please type out, right? That's your name, this is your organization, and these are your views. It will be extremely useful. We are planning to prepare a note which is on this topic, and we want to circulate it. We do not want it to be a research which will remain only in one of the journals. We are very keen that this set of roundtable discussions get converted into certain new processes, policies, which is beneficial both for the country of origin and country of destination. And this would definitely involve a lot of collaboration. So my request is, all of you, it's a request to all of you, any of you having an idea, right? Some thought, some advice, some question, just feel free to type them out. Advantage of this virtual discussion is all of you can type out at the same time, right? And my commitment to all of you is we will create a document which will be kind of a summary of our research and the insights we are having today. I wanted to understand, Dr. Sandeep, if we have Mr. Anurag Bhushan from Ministry of External Affairs. Mr. Anurag, if you are around, it'll be wonderful if you share your thoughts on this whole topic of brain exchange in the healthcare sector. Is Mr. Anurag there?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, over to you. Over to you. We can hear you. Yes, absolutely clearly.
Yeah, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me to this roundtable discussion. Lot of thanks to Government of Punjab, to ISB and to the other institutes who have joined together on this very pertinent topic. As you all know, the criticality of the frontline healthcare professionals has always been important, but it has been truly highlighted during the recent COVID-19 issues. In the current era of changing demographics and technological advancements, such as automation and digitalization, the global labor market is also continually evolving. So I think these two phenomena is making the supply of healthcare professionals to around the world a very important issue. And I'm very thankful that that I've been invited to speak on this occasion. Let me point out that according to World Health Organization, the shortage of labor health professionals is expected to reach 18 million by 2030. As a result of the worldwide dearth of healthcare workforce, their demand has also risen. At the same time, there is need for not only doctors and nurses, but also geriatrics, long-term care, palliative care specialists, and in general, all professionals working in healthcare and social care. Ladies and gentlemen, India has the largest number of medical colleges in the world, producing highly qualified health professionals every year. Also, the language competency of Indian health practitioners acts as an advantage in migrating to countries that need English-speaking workers, because English is the language of instructions at most of the Indian Health Training Institute. These are the positives that we all know about. Moreover, recent years, India has invested in increasing the capacity of its healthcare professionals, and we have set up 22 new AIMS. There are multiple referral hospitals that are being converted to medical schools. There are 157 new government medical institutions that are being added in the state. All of these are very heartening developments that to our mind constitute a very big step in terms of India and addressing the worldwide healthcare professional gaps. So all these are indicative of India's capacity to fulfill its requirements in the healthcare sector, as well as contribute towards meeting the shortages of the health workforce in countries abroad. However, there are challenges involved in terms of competition faced by other health workers from many other sending countries, and we need to be alive to that the window of opportunity that the technology and demographics is giving to us is a very limited window. And unless all the arms of the government of India, together with the private sector, works in a very focused manner, we would not be able to exploit the opportunities to its fullest extent. So, but I'm from the MEA point of view, I'm just going to point out a few policy initiatives that various foreign countries have taken. I will thereafter give you some initiatives that MEA together with MSDE has taken. And then I will leave it for the experts to give us some policy recommendations that our ministry can follow in terms of opening markets to our healthcare workers. So the need for healthcare professionals has been emphasized in the recent policy initiatives of several countries. Many of the barriers restricting the movement of migrant health workers have been relaxed in many countries, providing them with easier access to work in those countries. For instance, Belgium, Germany, Ireland, and Luxembourg decided to expedite current applications for the recognition of foreign qualification of health professionals. Australia increased the number of working hours permitted for international nursing students to alleviate pressure on its workforce. Because of the amount of personnel and already accessible skill set, to our mind, India stands to benefit from these obvious shifts in the policy environment involving migrant health professionals. Many countries in the European Union regions, including Germany, France, Netherlands, Sweden, as well as countries in the Eastern Europe, also lack healthcare professionals. Japan has a sizable proportion of senior population and is in need of elderly care workers. We have already signed a memorandum of cooperation.
Mr. Anurag, maybe another 30 seconds and then people might have question and then,
Okay, so I'll finish it off in next 30 seconds and then if there are any questions, I'll be very
Sure.
So in Japan, and that is very important, nursing care is one of the 14 specified sectors under the Specified Skilled Worker Scheme, which provides Indian health workers enhanced opportunities to engage in employment in Japan. This is very important because Japan has almost given 3 lakh slots to worldwide for this sector, but this and some other sectors, but we have not been able to utilize it. Southeast Asian region also, countries such as Taiwan, Singapore, Malaysia, these are the countries that are also planning to import healthcare workers, and we need to target that. We are alive to this. We are working with MSDE to focus on skilling for equalization of qualification and so on and so forth. And so overall, there is a policy initiative from Government of India recognizing the need for sending healthcare workers. There is also a recognition among many countries in Europe that India can be a source of high quality healthcare. Germany, Japan have already have presence in India. Germany is working together with another agency in Kerala to import healthcare workers. But we need to work more. We need to work in more focused manner to see to it that we work on it. I just want to end with another by citing another initiative that we took with the together with government of Punjab. So we have a think tank called International Center for Migration. It has recently had a virtual panel discussion on this, and it was called Mapping India's Need versus Foreign Demand Case for Healthcare Sector. And I think a lot of very good recommendations have come out of it. We will ensure that these policy recommendations become part of the initiatives that we take. Thank you very much for your patience, and I'll be very happy if there are any questions or if there is any clarification that you would want me to address. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Very interesting insights. I was just reading what Kristen has mentioned, right? And I would encourage everybody to read the chat. I think there's some fantastic ideas, and it will be very interesting to get inspiration from some of those ideas. And I think we can make the global workforce shortage that we have. We can ensure not only on quantity but also on quality. I want to now invite Professor Dinesh Kumar Singh. I must tell you, AIIMS in India has been doing some phenomenal work. Professor Dinesh, in particular, I had the privilege to really interact with some of his colleagues. We spoke about how technology can be leveraged to create a high-quality workforce faster. Professor Dinesh, if you are there, it'll be wonderful to listen
Thank
to
you,
your
Professor
thoughts.
Chaudhary. If I'm audible?
Yeah.
Thank
Yes,
you,
you are
Professor
audible.
Chaudhary. If I'm audible?
Audible.
Yeah.
Audible, yes.
So, Honorable Chief Minister, Government of Punjab, Sardar Saranjit Singh Ji Channi Ji, Secretary of Government of India and Government of Punjab, Health Department also, officials of the Health Department, officials of the different countries, officials of the different universities, and particularly Chandan Chaudhary Ji and Sandeep Kauda Ji, and with other resource person of ISB, IBM, LTSU, and other participating delegate. This COVID, as somebody has already said, that we have learned many things during the COVID endemic period. So we all know the importance and shortage of healthcare worker throughout the world. I congratulate the Punjab Skill Department for taking a very timely intervention and coming for a skill in a healthcare worker. Since the theme, aims, and objective have already been introduced especially by Professor Chandan, Sri Sandeep Kauda ji, and other speakers, I need not to elaborate. But you all agree that India is a young country. We have the potential of being the global capital of skilled worker, because we have huge number of young people, and this is also important to train them and utilize their skill. As Professor Chandan has very rightly said, brain should not be in drain. With this, I assure you from the AIIMS Bhatinda, from myself also, we will be happy to train any kind of health worker and at their best level, and our faculty will be very much happy to do that and be a part of this global supply of the healthcare worker, especially from this part of Punjab. With this, I thank you all, and definitely I congratulate you all on the Women's Day, and I congratulate everybody for taking this very important topic, very important need world over. It's not only the few countries, it's a world over. We felt the shortage of ventilator technician. The ventilators were there, but there was no technician. With this idea, when Punjab Skill Department approached me, we immediately agreed to train 200 staff nurses and to improve their skill in managing the ventilator, in managing the patient in the ICU. With this, again, I assure you all the help from the AIIMS Bathinda. We are ready to train any number of health worker which can be useful for the society and to the other country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Professor. I think it has been very inspiring knowing you and interacting with you and your colleagues. I think you all have been doing some phenomenal work. And I have seen when your colleagues spoke with a lot of passion that in Punjab, for example, also in many states, the problem was not a ventilator, but more acute problem was having the skilled workforce who could operate those ventilators. And as I look back, I know my students who died during COVID. I know the spouse of my students who died. I know my relatives who have died. I know my close friends who have died. Now I think skilled workforce for serving the global healthcare sector is a very important topic. I also wanted to make a statement. Those of you who want to do some joint collaborative research with us will be extremely happy. And I think this is a problem which will need collaboration. I would like to know, in case Ms. Ruma Kumar Busi, Managing Director for India at Trade and Investment, British Columbia, Government of British Columbia, Canada. If she is around, it'll be wonderful to listen to her, some opening comments from her.
Thank you, Dr. Chaudhary, Professor Chaudhary. I'm here very much here. And can you hear me?
Yeah, we can, very clearly.
Okay. All right, great. Good morning, and thank you very much for inviting me to be part of this very interesting discussion. Thank you to ISP, LAMRIN Technology, and to the Punjab Government and Chief Minister's Office for giving me this opportunity. Now, globally, COVID-19 has exposed a shortage of healthcare skills, and the province of British Columbia and Canada that I represent, or Canada as a whole is no exception. We all felt the shortage of healthcare skills. We also saw that during COVID, healthcare workers from India did travel to several other parts of the world, such as UAE and Maldives, to help them overcome shortage of skilled professionals. So if we are to avoid a similar situation in the years to come, I think certainly there's a need to link the labor markets across the world in critical areas such as healthcare. I think it's just simply something that we cannot wait, anymore to do. And then the other ticking, time bomb that we have is the aging population around the world. And, in the next 3 decades, the pressure on healthcare and healthcare workers shortage is going to increase manifold. So we need to do something about it now. And that right now is the opportunity for us to create a global talent mobility framework. But for that, there's a few things that we need, which I feel are lacking right now. One is mutual recognition of qualifications. I think that's really critical when we're looking at, a global talent force or for the healthcare sector, especially. And then, circular migration agreements between countries, which agree to share critical human resources in times of dire needs, such as the pandemic. So when there's a need in one part of the world, governments collaborate and they agree that they're going to help each other by providing that critical manpower and trained manpower that's needed. And I think, to my mind, the third part is really right now, we've seen. So as Professor Chaudhary just pointed out in his presentation, there's a number of Indian students that actually went to Canada to study. They're going all over the world to study. So they're in a situation right now where they're having to choose between India and the other part of the world. So, even in India, we need to create a framework and infrastructure where, Indian healthcare workers are able to practice in the country itself if there's a need here, and able to travel outside if that's what they needed. So basically, the ultimate aim is to have global talent mobility, and where talent is actually able to move where there is a need and a demand, and not just move, brain drain. So it's actually brain mobility that's really required. So I'm going to leave it there, and thank you. Over to you, Professor Chaudhary.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I was wondering if Dr. Philippe is around. I was very keen that Dr. Philippe is the Vice Provost and Vice President, Trinity Western University, Canada. Uh, uh, are you around, Dr. Philip?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you very clearly.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation to join you today and recognition of International Women's Day. I have 4 women in my household, my wife and 3 girls. So I'm familiar with personally the impact women make on all of our lives. It is clear that the combination of the internet age, global accessibility, and global impact of the pandemic, as well as the ubiquitous nature of mobile devices, have altered human consciousness and identity. We've faced the challenges of the pandemic together as a global community, but also separate in our individual countries, communities, regions, and our families. It is clear that the global demand for healthcare and mental health services has increased as a result of these pressures, and we are at a critical juncture in the shortage of healthcare workers and mental health workers worldwide. With the democratization of knowledge and global accessibility comes a volume of information that is constantly in turmoil. People around the world have neither the technical, cognitive processing, or psychological maturity to understand the kinds of information they receive, let alone to make good use of the information that they have. This has exacerbated the pressures on the healthcare system because it has contributed to an increase in mental health issues that we face in our young people, in our families, and in our communities. The world has become a complicated place. It's become a place where there is conflict and tension, and also a place where human beings are ill-equipped to make sense of the world that they find themselves living in. Not only do we need healthcare workers and professionals for the 21st century, but we need a certain type of healthcare worker and professional. We need people who are equipped, not just as technicians, but also as thought leaders and practitioner leaders to help to innovate our healthcare systems worldwide. I don't believe we will actually be able to address the healthcare worker shortages that we face. I think the pressures of an aging population, the ongoing demands of the pandemic, the increase in mental health issues worldwide are going to continue to produce challenges to our ability to resource healthcare systems around the world. And as a result, we need to develop the next generation of leaders in the healthcare system who can innovate and create adaptive systems that can help us not only look for human resources solutions to our problems, but also look to system change. Trinity Western University, as a university in Canada, is known for the way it equips educators, healthcare professionals, counselors, human services professionals who are committed to deliver compassionate care to people across the globe and to train people in more than just technical skills, but also in areas like synthesis, analysis, moral and civic reasoning, critical thinking, and leadership. And I believe these are the kinds of skills that we need to develop to build up the next generation of leaders to take us forward across the globe. Thank you.
Very much. I think this was some very interesting highlights. Thank you for sharing the kind of work you all are doing. I wanted to request our friend from IBM, Vittal, if you are around, Mr. Vittal M. Madhyalkar, Program Director, IBM Innovation Center for Education. Are you around?
Yes, Professor Chaudhary, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. And I'm very delighted to be here in this roundtable discussion and some great thoughts from my co-panelists here. And I'm completely in agreement with some of the very interesting points what made. I just want to add a couple of things, being from IBM for many years with IBM and as a technology, and myself being there as a technologist, we all know, and I think earlier Mr. Bhushan also mentioned about digital skills from technology. Technology is getting in everywhere, and as we talk, new things are keep coming, new areas are coming in, which impacts the way of business models, our processes, even job roles are getting new job roles with new skill sets are coming in. And this is where I think I'm very proud. We have been kind of associated with LAMRIN Tech Skills, as an anchor partner, bringing in those skill sets, right? Especially in terms of the content, be it into automation or blockchain or artificial intelligence. While the core skills are required, but what is needed is additionally those newer technology skills are going to come in, and we have been assessing it internally, how these technologies going to impact and the kind of job roles. So absolutely very, very delighted and see how IVM could be able to, be part of this and help, bridge this whole gap, right, in terms of the skills. And very happy I'll be here around and happy to be associated. Thank you so much, Professor Chaudhary, for the time. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. So I wanted to now request Dr. Gurinderjit Singh, if he's around, Director Health, Government of Punjab. So maybe some opening comments. I also wanted all of you to know all the 3 sessions which are going to follow. They're going to be deep dive, and they're going to be very, very interesting, right? And in the very first session would enable everybody who is connected, who are academicians, who are doing research, who are potential employers or trainers or, accrediting bodies. You will be able to see some very interesting insights right in the beginning. So this session is just kind of opening comments. Over to Dr. Gurinderjit, please. So I understand Dr. Gurinderjit is not there. I just got a message. So I was wondering if Dr. Avnish Kumar, who is the Director, Medical Education and Advanced Research, Government of Punjab, if he's around. Doctor, if you are around, it'll be good if you say a few opening comments.
Good morning, everyone. Dr. Avnish
I think we'll get back to you again because the line is not okay. So you may need to tell your technical team.
Dr. Akash, I'm Joint Director Medical Education. On his behalf. Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead. So you're not very audible. I would probably go to somebody else.
Hello.
No, the line is not clear. The line is not clear. Maybe, let me just
on behalf of the medical education department, we would be very interested in the scaling of our
sorry, you are not audible. Sorry, we will get back to you again.
We would be very interested in the scaling of our health.
Sorry, you are not audible. We'll get back to you later. Can I hear some opening comments from Ms. Christine, who is founder, managing director, GESS Education Australia. You wrote some very interesting insights. Maybe, a minute of opening comments. Are you around? Christine, are you around?
Yes, hello. It's Christine here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay. I was just in the middle of writing another little essay when you called my name. Yes, so I'm the Managing Director of GESS Education in Australia, and some of the points that have been made so far are very interesting in regards to especially the mental capacity, the global talent mobility that was mentioned. And I think what I was mainly trying to put across in my messages was the alignment. There needs to be a really good alignment for the student and for the job. So in other words, we don't want students choosing the health sector mainly to actually just want to get a visa. If they are studying, can you hear me?
We can hear you. You're very clear. Yes.
Okay.
Dr. Saab, Honorable Chief Minister has come. He is with us now on the screen. May I request you, I think if he wanted to share his view, then he has a meeting. So maybe we may request Madam Christine.
Then we'll get back to you after
Yes,
the
no worries.
talk by the, so over to the Honorable Chief Minister. We are all here to listen to you.
Thank you very much. I especially thank LTSU, LAMRIN Tech, Skill University, Punjab, for holding this roundtable on holding skilled healthcare workforce from India to overseas for the global skill shortages. This is a very good initiative, and we are proud of this university, and I am happy that I am an instrument in this establishing this university. As Chief Minister, I cleared this university from the government. So, university is doing good. We sincerely need skilled force, because the force that our company, our industry need is not available in Punjab. And now this university will go better and make the youth skilled in Punjab, so that we can complete the international market and send our wives and girls to the other countries for working there. So thank you very much for calling me in this seminar, and really thank you to the Chancellor of this university. Thank you. Thank you very much to the participants who are here. And,
Honorable CM Saab is launching the brochure for having some information around it, a booklet around it, so that those who are not able to join the event, they may get this information. So thank you, sir. Thank you for launching this one. Sir, today we have got about 4,200 people, participants who are online. They will be they have registered for this event, and they will be joining for these 4 sessions. This is an inaugural session where your good self have come today. And we have ambassadors, we have officers from high commissions, and we have senior official of Government of India, Joint Secretary, Ministry of External Affairs, and our joint senior official from Government of Punjab are here in this discussions. So this session started at 11 o'clock, and we were holding some discussions, and participants were sharing the information. So we will have another student, sir, on, like you said on the other day, students are also here. So there are about 4,000 students who have registered for this different sessions. So we will have technical session at 1 o'clock for Australia, Japan, and Singapore, and then 3:30 for Germany and UK, and 8 p.m. in the evening for Canada. And these all sessions where student, faculty, and the employers and international training agencies are, they'll interact and they'll share how we may do the skilling in Punjab and in India for overseas employment. So that's a discussion, sir, which we are holding today. And like you said last time, that we should also bring student into it. So this is first time in any such discussion, students are also discussing, and they are participant in this conference. So thank you, sir, for being with us. Over to Professor Chandan Chaudhary.
Yeah, in fact, I just thought that maybe Christine, you could just you were trying to conclude your concept, so if you could just do that, then I would move to the next speaker. Christine, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Hello. Yes, thank you once again for firstly accepting me into this roundtable. It's been very interesting, and I want to congratulate everyone so far. It's a little bit of a rough start at the beginning there for technical reasons, but the insights from everybody have been truly amazing. My point I was trying to get across was, I suppose we have to ensure that students, for the aged care in particular, they must be aligned to that type of work. So it's not a matter of, they have to be skilled in a way and in a length of time to make sure that the trainers can really gauge whether they are right for that industry, that they will be able to understand working with elderly people or people with disability. So I think that needs to be in consideration, and especially the length of the courses. I did mention in my comments, we do have some very quick courses being done in Australia, and it always causes concern to me because you can't learn how to do aged care in 6 to 10 weeks. So a 12-month course to really have practice every single week. So therefore, at the end of 12 months, they can be ready to actually go on the floor. And then with something like that for a basic certificate course for aged care, that then leads into further opportunities to do, further study for the ventilators, for example, that was mentioned before, to go on to become a nurse. So I think the idea that you have in regards to skilling the world from India because of the people that you have there is definitely achievable, but we just have to take into account all those factors of making sure that we're putting the right people to the right positions, so therefore they are successful.
Okay. Thank you, Christine. Thank you so much.
No worries.
And thank you for the notes you have written. That's very useful. I know many professors, faculty are connected on the call. It'll be great. It'll be great if, the faculty community who are connected right now, they also type out their views. I know they've got great ideas. It will be beneficial for everybody. And I wanted to now request if we have Ritu Agarwal on the call. Ritu, are you there by any chance? Are you on the call?
Yes, Dr.
Some comments, some quick comments from you.
Sure. Thank you so much, first of all, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay,
Yes.
great. So first of all, thank you so much for inviting me to this roundtable conference. I would not like to, repeat or re-emphasize which all our eminent speakers have already done regarding the importance of, healthcare workers and their significance. But I will definitely say a few things which might be of interest to everyone. You see, I think the students are also watching this webinar. Is it right?
Yes, you are right. Yes,
Yeah.
many of them. Yes.
I would just like to tell them that, healthcare worker is one of the most satisfying professions in the world. It's very rewarding, offers immense job satisfaction and deep contentment that comes from within, that you are saving the lives. So I am representing National Skill Development Corporation, and I would just like to throw some quick points that what we are doing on behalf of the government of India, especially the Ministry of Skill Development and MEA. You see, Japan, will need almost 6 million foreign workers in 2040, 4 times than what it has today, as per the Japan government report. And according to their estimate, the country will need 2.53 million care workers by 2025. So the pandemic has worsened the situation. So this demand will go on increasing. All right. Now, for the Indian candidates, there is a very structured approach through which they can go to Japan and work as healthcare worker, which is, I'm going to talk more on in my technical session, which is related to TITP and SSW. Don't worry, I'm going to give full forms in the technical session. But I would just like to emphasize here, in your time when you are watching Netflix and everything, entertainment is important. Try to develop your knowledge in foreign language, Japanese. So you don't need fantastic English to go to Japan. You don't need it at all, but you do need very good Japanese speaking skills. And if you have that, it's a matter of just 6 to 7 months. If you have that, it's a very, very great career that you have in Japan to work as healthcare workers. So a lot of stress is there from the Indian government and the Japanese government also to us to send maximum care workers from India to Japan. So I'm going to talk a lot of details in my technical ones. Since there is a paucity of time, I'll take a pause here.
Yeah, thank you, Ritu. I know you're very passionate about building, creating a skilled workforce. We both have done a lot of work together in past. I want to now invite if Baiwa Chadwick, Associate Vice President and his CEO from Thompson River University, Canada. Is Baiwa there? Yes?
Yes, I am here. Thank you very much for inviting me. And I've been listening to the speakers, and I actually have learned a lot. I think this session, this roundtable you're organizing is at a really timely, it's at a really good time. I wanted to share some information about British Columbia, Canada. So I'm from a public university called Thompson Rivers University in the interior of British Columbia, Canada. Now, our government in British Columbia just did a study on the labor market demand outlook for the next 10 years, and actually less than 10 years. And just in our province alone, there will be a need for at least 1 million jobs opening within the next few years in British Columbia. And I think you have probably already nailed it already. The area that's the most in demand is, of course, healthcare. And that's why you're organizing this roundtable. The other areas of demand in our province will be areas such as social assistance and education industry. Many of these openings will provide services such as early childhood education, counseling, child protection, and community housing and food services. Science and technology jobs will also be in high demand within the next few years in British Columbia. So I wanted to share that Thompson Rivers University, as a comprehensive university, we would love to work with different partner organizations in India to explore ways to provide that kind of training to meet your mandate as well, to train healthcare or other skilled workers, and to whether to start training in India, and then they can come to Canada to finish it, and or we can provide the training with the partner institutions in India to have the entire training in India. So there are many ways to collaborate. And I look forward to the opportunity to explore this collaboration with partner institutions. Thank you.
Thank you, Vaiwa. I think it was very interesting insights. We don't want to be delayed for our next technical session, our first technical session, which is going to be there very shortly. And therefore, I just thought I would invite any of the principals of nursing institution. If any of you would like to share your thoughts, it will be wonderful. And that will be the concluding session of this inaugural ceremony. And I can assure you, those of you had some views, could not talk, we have subsequently 3 technical sessions where we do deep dive. So any of the principals of nursing institutions, I know some of you have been doing great job. Some of you got some views on the problem. Some of you got some views about what should change. Anybody on the call would like to talk? Any of the principals, professors from nursing institution?
Most of them are, because due to control, I'm Dr. Sandeep, they are on mute.
Okay.
We will, because system has muted them. Many of them want to say. I could see a lot of chat, a lot of people are raising hand. So they are unable to unmute themselves.
Can our technical team unmute at least one of them?
Yeah, because they are raising hand. What?
Yeah, maybe we can unmute Yogesh Sharma, Pathankot.
Yogesh Sharma, yeah, if he want to say something.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. I'm audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. So I'm a center head of a skill institute in Pathankot, Punjab. And we are trained around 140 candidates for basic care support on COVID frontline worker, which was streamlined by Punjab Skill Development Mission. And I have seen that, very enthusiastically, students have came in front for this kind of courses, even for the help of, medical staff, as well as for their career. They came in front and they have given very good efforts to learning these skills. And also at this moment, our students are serving in Civil Hospital Pathankot, which is a government hospital, and they are doing all the COVID testing also. They are going for vaccination also. They are in in the field working to relieve kids and supporting the COVID patients. They are calling and guiding COVID patients, so they are learning a lot. So I think it's a very big opportunity that government have provided, and after that, if they get a chance to get settled abroad to work as a health worker, it will be very good. And I appreciate government that they have given such chance. Thank you very much.
We are not able to hear you, Dr. Saab. We are not able to hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Can you hear
sir.
me? Yeah. So I just wanted to say that with this, our inaugural session comes to an end. But I want to share with you, we are going to have 3 very exciting technical sessions. First one will start very shortly at 1 p.m. And in this session, our focus is going to be Japan. Our focus is going to be Australia, Singapore. Thank you for joining this call. I would invite all of you to join our technical session at 1 p.m. focusing on Japan, Singapore, and Australia, right? And then when you have the technical session 2, the second technical session, our focus will be Germany and United Kingdom, followed by evening at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Our focus will be Canada. So thank you, everybody, for joining the call.
Dr. Saab, may I request you to, remove your screen share, the team. They want to have a group photo for all the participants. I think it will be a good memory to have all of them. If all of them can switch on their camera. Sir, you are on mute. Dr. Saab, you are on mute.
Yeah,
we are not able to hear you.
Yeah. So
here, you want to take it.
Thank you very much, sir. We sincerely hope that all our participants took a lot away from this extremely informative inaugural session. We request all our dignitaries and participants to kindly turn on their cameras for a group photograph.
all of you are requested, like here, what he has said, may I request everybody to please switch on your cameras so that all of, we may have one group photograph just for a memory. And we have got good chat, good inputs in the chat box. So time was short, but definitely all those would be accommodated. Yeah. So we can see now most of them are.
Can you switch on the cameras? It will be very helpful. Sandeep, once you are done, you need to say, then you can.
Yeah, they are just, I think they are in process of taking the photograph.
Can I request
So it
everybody
is-
to switch on the camera, those who are having that access, right? I can see GV Singh, I can see, Boya, and a few others. Yeah, I can actually see most of the speakers have switched on the camera. Sandeep, are you ready?
Yes, sir. We just a minute. Just a minute. I are ready. Okay. Done. So, sir, we are done. Thank you very much, Dr. Saab, Dr. Chandan Chaudhary, for this wonderful session, and thank you to everybody for being with us. And special thanks to the esteemed speakers who spared their precious time for be with us. We will now go for some technical sessions, and thanks for being with us. Thank you, Dr. Chandan Chaudhary, for organizing this session. Though time was short, I could see a lot of input in the chat box. Would request you to incorporate all these in the report, which will be finally published by the institutions concerned. And thanks for being with us. Thank you to everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Recording stopped.